it is so important that we took a decision like 6 years ago to go out of Mexico. So we started with the headquarters in the United States, in Colombia, in Spain, in Dubai, and in Pakistan.
What are you doing all the way from that part of the world in Pakistan?
So in Pakistan, we have been investing a lot, and we have all the technology people, all the business people, all the sales people, mainly here in Pakistan, because we believe in this country. We believe that we can grow.
What particularly excited you about Pakistan?
The first thing is that Pakistan is doing really good things in technology.
Okay.
So we did it in some other part of the world. What you are doing here, we already did it. So for us, it's really interesting to get our experience there and bring it to Pakistan. There is a guy who was awarded for the Queen of England because he created a school in a park. And in that school in a park, he's trying to help Christian minority
Yes.
here.
He's a local hero. Master Ayub?
Yes, it's him.
Yeah.
And I met him, and we talk a lot of them.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to another episode of How Does It Work, a podcast by ProPakistani. We have a very interesting guest today, all the way from Mexico, Jorge Mandujano, the chairman of the board of BeyondTechnology. How badly did I pronounce your name?
No, pretty well. I think you have been having some Spanish classes for sure.
Okay, this was the hardest part. So now we can get on to the easier bits. What are you doing all the way from that part of the world in Pakistan?
Well, the first thing is that we are a company that was established 34 years ago, and we are focused on technology. And our mission is to understand all the processes and find the best technology to help the customers to do better things. So that is our mission. And it is so important that we took a decision like 6 years ago to go out of Mexico. So we started with the headquarters in the United States, in Colombia, in Spain, in Dubai, and in Pakistan.
Okay.
So in Pakistan, we have been investing a lot, and we have all the technology people, all the business people, all the sales people, mainly here in Pakistan, because we believe in this country. We believe that we can grow a lot from here to all the region that is the Middle East and Africa region. So from Southeast, that is Pakistan, we have been looking for some other opportunities around the area. What are we doing? Just what we know is that technology, especially on routing, especially on telecommunications, enterprise, cloud. So we have a lot of experience in cloud, networking, wireless, mobility, a lot of mobility. We have worldwide. So I can go deeper later, but that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. And from Mexico, the logical next step to the United States makes sense. Even Colombia makes sense. What particularly excited you about Pakistan, right? What was so...
Oh, what a kind of question. Really interesting. The first thing is that Pakistan is doing really good things in technology.
Okay.
So we did it in some other part of the world. What you are doing here, we already did it. So for us, it's really interesting to get our experience there and bring it to Pakistan. The second thing is Pakistan is really alike to Mexico.
Okay. You find there are similarities between
a lot of them.
Can you give me some similarities?
Cultural.
Okay.
Family. The business, how the business is going, how this country is growing and is going to the next step. So I found a lot of similarities between your country and mine, and I think that we can apply a lot of things. As an example, one of the things that we do is social responsibility activities.
Right.
And the only two countries that I am doing that is Mexico and Pakistan, because we have similar problems.
Right.
I'm not doing this in Spain. I'm not doing this in the United States. I'm not doing this in Panama
or Dubai
or any other country that we have offices. We are doing that here. And well, I will talk about our vision that is more comprehensive in our what we are doing right now. But definitely, if you talk about Pakistan, we found that we have definitely really, I don't want to say identical, but alike countries, alike society, alike business, and wonderful persons.
And a lot of the people who watch this are younger, and we were talking about this a little bit off air as well, that there's a issue with hope these days, right? We've begun to give up on our own country, or begun to think, it's never going to take off. You've got a 35 plus year career, and I guess in a similar country, like you said, do you see the signs of Pakistan sort of going to that next step? Do you see the advantages in setting up shop here? And in your experiences of working here now, I believe you have some clients here, you obviously have a team here. How difficult or easy has it been for you as a foreigner to sort of come into this country, and coming at a time like this when obviously the economy is bad, the political situation is bad? Do these things bother you in any way?
First answer is not bother me. Definitely, I believe in Pakistan. That's why we are investing that amount of money. We have been investing a lot. And one of the questions that you did is the faith in this country. I have a faith in this country. Okay. And even though sometimes, and that happens to mine, the environment or the situation is like too adverse, always will be. Okay. So in the worst time we ever had as a country or as a company is where we ever grow the most. So the first thing that I can tell you is never lose your faith as young people to create something new. Okay, regardless of the situation that you are living. The only thing that you have to have is you have to be proud of your country that you are. Define your goals pretty well. Go for them. Study, practice, implement methodologies, and go for your goal, and you will achieve it. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. So I don't want to talk, and I never talk about the political situation in Mexico or here, but what I can tell you is that the environment changed a lot every 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
Right.
Okay. So with my experience, I am really more older than you. What I can tell you is that every time that there is a problem in front of you is an opportunity to grow. And we have been growing that way. Okay, so that is one of the things that definitely see. What was the other question?
The question was that in terms of ease of business, so now that you're working actually in Pakistan.
Every country has specialities. Okay? Since we arrived here, we have not ever faced any kind of problems with the establishment or founding of the company, with the legal things, with the tax thing, with the...
Okay.
I cannot compare a legal or a tax situation here from another company. What I can tell you is that now we understand the rules. We are following the rules exactly like they are. And I have no problems with it. Okay. So what I can tell you is that when we found this company in Pakistan, it was really nice for me because it was in the pandemic that the founding of the company was in a video conference with the Pakistani people in my house in Mexico. So they checked my passport. They checked it was me. So it was just a conference through the internet. So for me, I don't know if this is good or bad, but it was easy.
Right.
So the company is fully established. We have been working pretty well. We have big customers like us here. We have some others. And has been, I'm not going to say easy, but regular.
And before we get to your vision for Pakistan, the companies you're working with here, the future here, I wanted to go a little bit further back in your story, not related to Pakistan, but how did you start your business? Was it something that you always wanted to do? And how did it sort of evolve? You mentioned 3+ decades.
How far you want to go?
1991, I think, is
so
where
when we
you started.
Well, the first thing is that I had a lot of experience working for corporates.
Okay.
But since I was a child, I wanted to have a company. So when we started this, I started with a friend of mine that we studied together at the university. And being honest, he gave me a lot of support at the beginning. Okay. So together we were doing so many good things, growing a company locally in Mexico. Okay, we create a good group of technology, and we growth. Since the time that cabling and networking and was just replacing all these mainframes, mini frames, we replaced that with networking. Okay, right. So that is where we started. Since then, we have been just changing the company, changing the focus of it according to the trends of the technology. So one of the things that we have been done is that we like to analyze where technology is going, what is the newest technology that is going to be implemented. And we like to be there, not as early adopters, but one of the first that are implementing the technology in the different areas, in different niches. So we have been passing from cabling, structured cabling. We were the first one in Mexico to implement structured cabling, switching, routing. Then we moved to all these video, data, and image conjunction by 1998 in Mexico. Then telco, because in the telco arena, we found that it's really, really an important market for us. Right now is the most important in the whole world. We have customers in Mexico, in the United States, in Dubai, in Pakistan, in Qatar, that we are providing services. And the difference between the telcos and the enterprise is that telcos, they need an answer 99.999949. They have to operate 100%.
Yeah.
They cannot fail.
Yeah.
Okay. So we learned that. We learn how to do it. We made our processes, we train our people, we have all the resources to support that. And that is something that I really like it. So we are focused on that, and we are providing that kind of
service,
reliability to our other customers in enterprise.
And so I've been told a lot that Pakistan's telecom industry, even though Pakistan's tech industry might be a little slow, it might not be growing at the rate that we expect it to, but a lot of people say that our telecom industry is relatively, growing well. It's quite established. It's doing well. Many people praise the likes of Jazz, for example. How do you find, because you work with different telcos in Mexico and the United States, different parts of the world, what is the level of telecom in Pakistan in comparison to those countries?
Oof. I cannot make an analysis because each country is different.
Right.
Each country has the right time to do it. What I can tell you is that now that you are implementing 5G, the opportunities for the people, for the companies, corporates, medium companies, small companies, implementing this 5G is going to grow a lot. It's going to grow a lot. So we can help you on that. Okay, we can support you with that because we did it
right
in some part of the world, in Mexico, United States, or whatever. So I think that the telco here in Pakistan, I really like it, and we have 2 or 3 carriers here in the States that I like the way they are doing the things. They are doing really firm, step-by-step work just in order to grow in the right direction in Pakistan. So what I am seeing and what I am learning from these kind of companies, especially I can openly talk about Jazz because we have an agreement and we have so many agreements on that. What I see them is I'm learning how they are doing that good here in Pakistan, and how can we help them, and how can I learn also to do some things from here to some other customers.
Right.
Okay, with all the confidentiality, I am using our experience in those carriers in the other part of the world with Jazz and vice versa. But what I like is that Jazz is doing really firm steps on this journey.
And in terms of the steps that they're taking, you're working in some way with AI, and this is something that's become like this buzzword, especially for us Pakistanis, right? We hear AI and we think of robots and crazy new worlds and stuff like that, because I guess there isn't that much artificial intelligence related work going on in Pakistan. Can you walk me through exactly what Beyond Technologies is doing with Jazz? Like if you were to explain, like I'm a fifth grader, what do you guys do?
Well, the first thing is that we are supported by a vendor that is Juniper. Okay. Juniper is the leader in the Magic Quadrant of Gartner Group in networking, wireless, switching, and all those things. So why they are the number one is because in the wireless, there has been 3 waves. The new wave is with AI. Okay. And Juniper is the only one who has this solution. So with the Juniper technology, they have the ability to implement it and see how the networking is working and give you proactively some ideas, some identified problems that maybe they don't know it, and how to correct them. So the way an enterprise or a carrier can grow based on this wireless technology is really interesting because we're going to know what is happening before a problem happens. Okay, so that's the technology that is just implemented, especially in their new building. So we have been implementing this in the whole world. So AI on the networking and wireless is an advantage for any of the companies who wants to implement this new wave, this new era of wireless and networking. That's where we are implementing AI for networking.
Right.
As Beyond, we have been doing so many things on AI, but we can cover at any time.
So what are you guys doing for AI?
Well, we are, as an example, we have something that is livestock. So with reels and cameras and AI, we have the possibility to analyze how each animal is growing, if they are sick, if they are not sick. So it's like a vet checking the animal daily. That in any ranch is difficult to do it.
Of course.
Okay. So we have the ability to see if they are feeding good, if they are fed good, if they are growing good, if they are fighting, or if they are not moving, that means sick. And when sickness in an animal is present, this animal can contagiate the rest of them. So with AI, I think we have one of the best solutions in the world to analyze how this animal is evolving.
Right.
Regardless of what business is this for.
And Pakistan generally, of course, agriculture, livestock, we do a lot. We're a rural economy still, more so than a tech economy. Are you actively looking to get into other industries, like, for example, livestock in Pakistan with your software?
Yesterday we had a meeting with a
local
prospect, who has this problem. They are doing really interesting things with cows. And the investment they are doing is high to have a cow with a specific, I cannot go in detail on that. But I think that we can help them a lot just in order to check the cows in the right moment, in the right place, just in order to let the vet see if there is a problem or not. Okay, C is a Spanish person, so I just said C. If we can help them, and if there is a problem that we can solve. So yes, we are working with someone here in which we are analyzing how to implement this technology in Pakistan.
And I just spoke about us being a rural economy, but I also find it interesting. For example, Pakistan is, you mentioned as well, we're on the road to 5G. Why do we need 5G? As a layman, explain to me what is it for me who just uses my phone?
You need more bandwidth because the applications, the information that you are receiving is more.
Right.
Okay, so you are receiving videos, you are receiving images, you are receiving movies, you are receiving a lot of documents to take right decision in the right moment. So that's why you need 5G. Okay. 5G means more speed. I'm not going to go deeper on the technology, but more speed, and also has different segments. So the information is sent in parallel in different segments. Okay. So that is the difference between 5G and 4G. Right. Okay. Or LTE, that is 4.1.
And in terms of, you mentioned earlier you're working with Jazz. Walk me through how this works. Do they have the same back-end providers? Like, do all 4 telcos or how many ever telcos there might be in a country, can they all work with you? Or is it sort of like you have to be exclusive to one?
No, we are not exclusive to anyone. Mm-hmm. We have a preferred one, definitely, and it's Jazz. Right. And they have been helping us to be here. They have been helping us to understand the business requirements, the business opportunity they have. We are really, really confidential with them in what they are doing. Mm-hmm. So we have another customers. We have another carriers that we are providing solutions. But this is managed completely isolated. Yeah. Because we do believe that each of the company has their strategy to attack the market. Right. And even though they could compete each other, we have to provide exactly what the business needs for that customer is. And maybe the other player could be in different direction, but they define the strategy for their business. So the only thing that we do is just analyze it and support them just in order to follow the strategy they have.
And in Mexico, other than the sort of private sector, the telecoms and stuff, do you work with the government at all in any way?
We have some customers in the government of Mexico, but being honest, we are not working really a lot with the government. Mm-hmm. We are working in Mexico. We are working with most of the private companies and private sectors in Mexico City. In the United States, yes, do we have some governmental customers? In Pakistan, we are working with some of them. This, yes. And
what's that been like? So we hear from the outside that when Pakistani governments, want to go and do technological advancements, there's a lot of leg pulling. It's very hard. They don't want to actually go towards technology. How much of that is true in your experiences?
We don't have a lot of experience with the government of Pakistan, but the experience that we had was good enough to tell you that they are like any other company. Okay. I mean, the government is like a company. Right. If this is good for the country, if this is good for the company, they will do it. Right. Okay. So till now, we don't see any kind of problems that we see in some other parts of the world to work with the government.
So in terms of global projects, I believe you're doing something in manufacturing across 25, 26 countries. Is this simultaneously happening? Can you walk me through how complicated that is?
Yes. I can tell you that we have won important projects. One of them is with a manufacturing company that is the third in the niche they are participating in the world. Okay. And we are implementing in more than 20 countries at the same time, in factories, in corporates, in facilities, sales areas, the networking and wireless. So we are able to provide, support, implement this kind of solution like the one that we are providing to Jazz, but in 26 different countries. That is really interesting because that kind of opportunities are not easy in the world. Okay, they have been teaching us how to manage this with different culture, with different religion, with different everything. Yeah. So the way the companies work in each country, regardless that they have a really nice culture defined for the whole world, is different. So we need to understand not just the company, but also the society, how the company is implementing those in those countries. So this customer is so important for us. And it's not just the amount of money or the revenue that we are making. It is more how we are creating this BeyondTechnology to support this kind of company. So that is one of the most important customers that we have globally. We have another one that is in the cloud arena, Virtualization and Cloud Arena. That is a media company that works in Mexico and in the United States. So we help them to take all the information into the cloud to be accessed for all the users or all the company internally. That is another one that is so important. Also, we have some customers, globally customers, that we are helping them to growth the bandwidth from optical.
Okay.
So if I could explain it to you is the best way to transfer information is light, is optical. So what we are doing is we are providing equipment from Infinera, that is the leader on that area, and then converting to digital 1 and 0. And then we took it from Juniper or from other vendors, and we distribute that information in all where they need it to take decisions. So we have some customers in which we are providing them some physical submarine optical solutions with this kind of equipment, or replying the transmission that is definitely cheaper and longer in distance. So that is the other solution that we are providing to global. We own a company that is based in Switzerland, that the name is Gemma. And Gemma is in the Magic Quadrant of mobility services. And Gemma, we are implementing solutions to manage all the devices, mobile devices. So as an example, a really well-known jewelry company in the world, we are helping them to manage and administrate all the POS, all the devices they have in the whole world, more than 80 countries. So when you talk global, we have a lot of experience implementing these kind of things.
Right.
Okay, so that is one of the things when we are talking about the global. Now, when you are talking about the global, definitely I need to talk to my to the countries that we have offices in there.
Right.
So global means Colombia is different than Panama.
Right.
Panama is different than Costa Rica, and is different than Mexico, different than the United States, different than the States or Spain. Sorry. Than Qatar, that we have an important customer there. We did a increase of this optical bandwidth for a telco company in Qatar for the World Cup, because one of their customers, they want us to grow this, and we were the right person to implement it on time, and it was successful in the World Cup. Now it's a recurring customer, so every year they are looking for us to implement this in Qatar for this carrier. Obviously, Pakistan and Dubai.
And since, we were just talking about different cultures and different things, off air we had this conversation and you mentioned, how many countries have you traveled to?
Ooh, a lot of them.
Yeah, because you just named all your offices and the countries you've worked in. But how many have you been to?
Personally, a lot of them. I don't like to
over
tell that.
50, over 100?
Over 100.
Okay. So if you've been to over 100 countries, you've probably seen more of the world than most people. So you probably have an understanding of culture. You must understand a lot of different things. And if I sort of connect that to Pakistan, what do you find our culture to be like? We were talking off air as well. You went to Texela, you went to different parts of Pakistan, not just
Lahore, all the Mughal Empire, and I really like history.
Yeah, exactly. You don't go to 100 countries if you don't like history, right? So if I was to ask you, okay, other than the work side of things, I'm sure the people are nice, but how do you find our culture, our history, our world?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what I can tell you is each of the country, each of the history, each of the culture, they give you something
new.
Something. They give you something. The only thing that you have to be is just too open to receive that information. So sometimes we are used to say, hey, I want to go to the typical cities. Let's go to Paris. Let's go to Madrid. Let's go to Florence. Let's go. Okay. But each of the cities, each of the small countries gives you a lot of information that the only thing that you have to do is just to be open to learn from them. After that, the only thing is you have to put in a context of the history what they are teaching you, in the context of food, cuisine, in the context of religion. Okay? So the only thing that, and some others, political, blah, 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 economical, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's funny when you are in a country that you see the bill with the biggest number of zeros because is the more inflation country in the world. So you have to be open to understand that and adapt it to your perception, your history, your learnings. But every culture is different. What I can tell you is that what I have been learning in Pakistan is amazing. It's amazing because of your culture. As I told you, not just the Mughals, not just the Sikhs or any other culture that was here, but also of the people. The society is so friendly. I'm really thankful and amazed with all the Pakistani people that I have been met, that as soon as we start doing business or as soon as we met each other, the only thing that I receive is just, please, welcome to my home. They have a wonderful dinner, lunch for me, and we can interchange information from your country and mine, your culture and mine. Fortunately, Mexico's culture is really huge. It's amazing. So, as an example, I cannot avoid to say that yesterday, when I went to Faisalabad, the family that received us, just because we were Mexican, they give us, or they cuisine with all this wonderful Pakistani food, one thing from Mexico. So she said to us, I really wanted to give you a little taste of your country in my country.
That's amazing.
How can you be thankful on that? I mean, it's I'm still impressed. I am still impressed. So culturally, the Pakistani society is wonderful. It's like Mexican. We are really alike. Even as we were discussing, you can be Mexican or I could be Pakistani.
Yeah.
I mean, we look alike. Similar. So, yeah, I have been finding Pakistan really, really interesting. We went to, like 2-3 years, we went to Escardo. And the natural view of that area was beautiful. Taxila, a lot of history in there. And believe me, I'm going to go to 80% of your country, visit the most I can because I really like it. And I definitely, every time that I come here, I go to a different place.
I guess this is a thing for us. You've had all sorts of cuisines and you just talked about our cuisine. How do you find our cuisine? And if I was to ask you from the 100 countries you've gone to, would ours make the top 5, top 3, top 10?
I can tell you that one of the nicest cuisine is mine, Mexican. Okay?
100%.
You need to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
You need to taste it in there, in the country, because the variety is one of the best. Definitely, the Italian cuisine is excellent. Peruvian cuisine is excellent. Japanese cuisine is excellent. French cuisine is excellent. But Pakistani is excellent. And you're gonna criticize me because of this comment, but I'm not that good with spicy things.
Me neither.
Okay, so the only
that's why I like Mexican food.
The only thing is that spicy here is
spicy.
Is really spicy.
Yeah, it's
even
too
though
much.
I'm Mexican and we like chile and we like chile, I'm not that kind of person. But the cuisine is excellent. I have been doing an excellent job doing that and tasting the different cuisine that you have. So, and I have been fortunate because I have been invited for a lot of people in their house.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's the home cuisine.
That's my point. It's not the restaurant cuisine is excellent, but when you're having
someone's house food, it's the same.
It's completely different. Of course, it's completely different.
That's the real stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the real stuff.
All right, Jorge, this was an absolute pleasure. I
really would like to add for our vision, because I have been talking about the company, but our vision is so important because when we started this adventure to go worldwide, we defined or we wanted to give to the world something different.
Right.
So the first thing is that we need to provide an equation, a different equation that is not just revenue. It's also how is the balance between the revenue and the people. Okay? So we create our vision. And our vision is to generate wellness and transcendency for an ecosystem. This ecosystem is for customers, employees, strategic partners like Infinera, like Juniper, like Google, the stockholders, and the society. So what I usually say to my people is, just ask you what you are doing to generate that benefit. Right. So with customer is the moment of truth is so important. The benefit of the customer is so important. To help them to realize their goals is so important. We need to be part of the customer to satisfy all those things. When we're talking about the employee, the personal, we have a lot of things to balance between the work and person. We have some areas that we cannot force the people to do it, but we invite the people to analyze 8 areas of their life: religion, exercise, health, work, family, and try to get that balance. Yeah. So we have a lot of systems doing that. A lot of communication with them. For us, there is not hierarchies in the company. We have roles. So anyone can talk and say whatever they want.
Wow.
And that is so nice because I don't believe in hierarchies.
Yeah.
Even today I had a meeting with all the
Pakistani
personnel from Pakistan, and it's really nice to talk to them openly.
Yeah.
They were teaching me how to play cricket 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the opportunity to go to the match of cricket yesterday or 2 days ago. And now I was wearing a Pakistani shirt with my people because that put us along. I mean, we are in the same direction. And they gave me a bat last time I came here. Yeah. And I am playing cricket. Not good, but doing my best.
You're getting
doing
there.
my best.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they have a problem, when they have a family problem, when they have a birth, we are with them.
Yeah.
So that is so important. Customers are as important as people.
Yes.
Are as important as the vendors and as important as society. That's why we do a lot of things on society. So in Mexico, we have, as an example, 12 kids with cancer that regardless of the successful or not of the treatment, we are paying the treatment for the kid and one family that is taking care of them.
Right.
We are helping all people. Looks like I'm just taking care of my next step. Down syndrome people or a lot of activities.
Right.
Every month, all the personnel is participating in one social activity. Okay. Here we have an activity really interesting because there is a guy who was awarded for the Queen of England because he created a school in a park. Mm-mm. And in that school in a park, he's trying to help Christian minority here.
He's a local hero, Master Ayub?
Yes, it's him.
Yeah.
And I met him, and we talk a lot of them. And the employees of Beyond here, my people, they have been helping them in order to give them clear water, supporting the restrooms, the books, anything they need to support that. But in the last visit that I went there, I talked to this guy, and what I really like it is that there were a woman who was teaching kids, and that woman joined that school when she was
and she
8 years
graduated.
old, and now she's finishing her art university studies, and she got back to teach the other kids.
Beautiful.
So we are helping them
Create the ecosystem.
So this is so important. The society is so important. So our point of view is not to make revenue. Is not obviously we need it. Obviously we need profit to growth, to invest in technology. We have to be the highest level of certification of each vendor or in any activity we do. But if you receive a benefit, you have to split it in this ecosystem to get better in each of the areas. So that is one of the most important things that we want to provide. Based on that, we create another area that the name is Time to Grow, and in which we are doing a lot of things on a start of things with this philosophy. So, and we're going to be creating more companies. We're going to be creating more niches that we are attacking. We are creating so many good things. So that is what we are doing.
And I think it's very refreshing to meet someone who's not only positive on our future as Pakistan, but also giving back to society worldwide. And I think there's a lot to learn from this. Thank you so much, Jorge. This was a pleasure. And we hope to see you back here someday
I'll be
on the
here.
podcast. Maybe you can come over for dinner as well.
Whenever you want, I will be here at least twice a year.
Yeah.
At least. Believe me, it's a long flight. But definitely I will be here at least twice a year. And we can talk whenever you want.
Done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed our content, please do subscribe to our channel, and we will see you for the next podcast.